we'll be having a couple of sessions on Python initially, basically to understand the basics of Python. And then we will slowly move on to the implementation of machine learning models, right? So yeah, in today's session, we will be covering the very basics of Python. So what is Python? Python is a high level programming language. It is very simple to learn. It is known for its readability. It can be used into various fields, including web development, automation, data analysis, scientific computing, machine learning, deep learning, data science, AI, and yeah, and number of applications. So why we are basically learning about Python? Because yeah, it has a very rich ecosystem and already built modules, right, which we are going to use in eventually, like different libraries on numeric computation, data frames like numpys and pandas. All right, so those libraries are really easy to import in Python. We can directly import them and start making use of them in order to do various sort of things like data cleaning, data reading, data pre-processing, and all of that stuff. So that I will go in detail in the further session. Today, let's discuss about the very basics of Python. So if you want to print something in Python, what you have to do, you basically have to use this print command along with this parentheses. Okay, so if I do that, if I run this cell, yeah, this cell has been executed. Now it has not given any sort of output because we do not have any text into it to print it. So if you want to uh, add the text, you can add the text to get printed in multiple ways. So first one is to, you can use single quotes, open quote, close quote, and inside that you will pass all the text that you want to print. So if I run this, I am getting hello world in the output. Let me quickly restart all the quotes. Give me a moment, guys. Yeah, all right. Okay, now what you can also do is you can make use of double quotes. So yeah, this one is with single quote only. Within the single quotes, I have added this text like hello world, I love Python programming language. And if I run this, I will get this output in the terminal. Okay. Now you can also add the text inside the print statement inside double quotes. So instead of using single quotes like these, you can use double quotes. So if I run this, I will basically get the same output. Now, why is there even a need of single and double quotes? Because you might be having a single quote inside your text. Like for example, like this in this statement, I can't tense anymore. I already have a quote inside my text. So if I'll be using the single quotes in the outer layer, what will happen? It will basically throw an error. It is getting confused that from where it is starting and where it is ending, right? The text part, because it has three quotes now. So how you can avoid this sort of situation? You can basically use double quotes instead. So yeah, if you run that, you will be able to print this sort of text when you have a quote inside it. Now again, uh, yeah, if we think vice versa, like if there is a double quote inside my text, and if I'll be using double quotes, again it will throw same error. Now,
Hello, sir.
you know,
Hello.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sir, sorry to disturb, but have
No, no,
you
no, it's okay.
shared your screen? Like, I can't see for that reason.
Yes, it's shared. Okay, okay. Let me. Okay, share. Is it shared now? Are you are you guys able to see?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, now it's good, right? Like you're able to, everything is good.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll start from here. So yeah, basically, in order to print something in Python, you have to use this print command along with open and close brackets. Let's rerun it. Now we can't see anything in the output because we have not added any text in it. Now, in order to add text, what you can do, you can use single quotes. So within single quotes, I just type hello world. So if I run this, I will get the hello world in the output. Now, again, this is another example of printing some text in Python. Hello world, I love Python programming language inside the single quotes. So again, the printed output. Now, what you can also do, you can use double quotes instead of single quotes while printing. So if I'll print hello world by using double quotes, it will again same output will be there, no difference. Now, why there is a need of single and double quotes? Why do we just use single quotes? Because when you, there might be situations when you have a single quote inside the text, right? Inside the text that you are going to print. So if you run this, it will throw error. Okay, so for avoiding these sort of situations, what we can do, we can use double quotes at the outside, like yeah, outside, and inside I can use single quotes. So if I run this, this will be printed now without any error. Now, same like situation in vice versa manner, when you have a double quote inside your text that you want to print, but you are using double quotes to print it, will throw again same sort of error. Now, again, in order to avoid this, use the single ones instead. So now this gets printed. Now, in the printed output, if you want to add a new line, you can do it by using \n. Okay, so inside your text, if it has \n, if you print this, you will be able to change lines inside your print command. Okay, now you can do same thing by using triple quotes as well. So if you do print and then triple quotes, then add the text that you want to print in the format that you want. And what this will do, this will basically print the text, but it will also preserve the behavior, like the format of the text. So if I run this, I will be able to print it in the exact format. All right. Now, if you want to add tabs inside the print command, inside the text that you are going to print, you can do it by using \t. Okay, so if I just added \t in the text, I have these tab spaces in my printed command. Okay, yeah, now moving on. Yeah, so what generally happens then when we write the code, there will be situation when other people are reading your code, or even you are revisiting your code, and if you have like thousands of lines of code, then in those situations you will basically be, yeah, there might be a situation that you forgot the logic that uh, you used at the time of writing the code. So for adding those sort of information, you can basically make use of comments. So how do we use comments? You can basically add a comment by adding a hash. So after hash, all the text will be treated as text, not code. Okay, so yeah, let's run this. All right, so yeah, basically here we have a function. We can have a different function as well. But what we are doing here, we are adding some information about this function and what this function is doing. Right now, okay. Okay, use now the next way to add comments in the code, you can also do it with three quotes, three single quotes without using print. So if you will use these three quotes and also like inside print, what it will do, it basically preserves the format of the text while printing it. But if you don't use any print statement, just use three single quotes, add the text. Now it will be behaving as a comment. All right. So yeah, this way also you can add comments. Okay. I hope I'm clear till now. Any questions, any doubts? I think yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, now let's discuss about variables. Okay, so basically, like we will be doing different types of operations by using Python, right? Wherein we will be storing some sort of value in a variable, and then eventually be using those variables later on in the code, right? So if I just do 5 plus 2 in Python, it will throw the output, right? Seven is the uh, returned output. Similarly, like, yeah. So, but what is happening? We are not storing this information anywhere. It's just like I executed this command, it gave me the output, but I won't be able to use this 7 anywhere else in the code. So basically, for storing values in the memory, we use different sort of variables, right? So for example, let's say I have a variable called age. So I can create the variable just by give it a name and use equals to and give it a value. So age equals to 30, right? Now what I can do, I can print the variable as well, right? So I get every time I'll use print age, I will get 30 in the output. All right. Now, similarly, if you want to add two variables in Python, so x equals to some value, y equals to some value, and you can say addition equals to x plus y and print the addition. So yeah, this is like a basic way of using variables, right? You are basically doing addition using two variables, and you can create variables by using a equals to. Now there are several things that we need to take care while creating the variables. First one is it should not start with a number. So if I'll say 1 a.m. equals to night, it will throw me an error. It should not be starting with a number. So instead, I can do something like this: a.m. equals to night. So this will get accepted, this variable creation, but this will throw an error. It should not start with a number. Now, you can use underscore as well for creating the variable. So these are basically pseudo variables, you can say. So when you don't know what you want to name the variable, but you still want to have a placeholder for the value, right? You can use underscore, and later on you can change it to a variable. So if I'll just say underscore equals to 10, if I run this, I will, yeah, this basically variable has been created now. You can maybe later on change it, print it, you can do that. Okay, so similarly, I can also do underscore apple equals to 10. So this will also be accepted. Now, there should not be a special character inside the name of the variable. So if I'll say Bob and Kevin equals to despicable me, if I run this, it will throw an error. So except for underscore, you cannot use any sort of special character in the variable name. Okay, so this is again one another thing that we should be aware about while creating the variables. It cannot start with a number. There should not be a special character except underscore in the variable name. So this will again, since it the variable name was 10x, it threw me an error. Okay, now another thing about variables is that variables are case sensitive. So if I'll just say apple equals to 11 with small a and apple equals to, I'm sorry, apple equals to 10 and apple equals to 11 using capital A. If I execute these two variables, now these two are individual variables, not the same one. So if you print apple with smaller case, it will give you the corresponding value, and same for apple with capital A. Okay, 10 and 11 individual corresponding values. So if you are, yeah, I mean, variables are case sensitive. You can also create multiple variables and assign values at the same time. So if I'll do x comma y comma z equals to 10 comma 12 comma 14. So these variables are created and now you can use them to do different operation. Here we are just printing them. Okay. Now you can use a variable in order to create different variables. So a small example, a equals to 10, right? So we are printing it. Now what I can do, I can take reference of a and create new variables. So I can do bananas equals to a, apples equals to a. Now if I'll print banana and apple, I will get the value from a. You can also print multiple variables at the same time by using a comma inside the print command. Okay, so print banana comma apple, I will get the individual values get printed using in by using only one print command. Okay, now yeah, always remember that when you will be creating the variables, so the latest variable that you will create, the same value will be assigned. So if I say just x equals to 20, print x equals to 40, print x. Here, if I do that, I will get 20 and 40. But now when I'll be printing x, I will be getting 40 only. Why? Because this was the last time you created this variable. So it has basically overwritten the value of x equals to 20. Okay. All right. So you can use variables to store data in different data types. All right. So, for example, here is a list. And list basically is created by using square brackets. All right. So here fruits is the variable name and its data type is going to be a list. So in the list, we can store data of different data types. Like it can be integer, number, decimal, uh, strings, another list, or different data types as well, like all the other data types. You can store all sort of data in list. So here, just for this example, fruits equals to apple, banana, cherry. It has three value. Now, what you can do if you just do if you just create three variables x comma y comma z equals to free fruits, it will basically create the same variables with the corresponding value. So if I run this now, if I'll be printing x comma y comma z, the same like corresponding values have gotten assigned. Mm, my bad. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. So till now, is there any question, like any doubt that how do we? Okay, let's have a quick recall. So in order to print something in Python, we use print command with open and close parentheses. We can print something by using single quotes as well as by using double quotes. You have to have used single quotes when inside your text you are having a single quote and vice versa for double quotes. All right. Now, next thing, if you want to add a new line while printing something, you can do it by using \n in the text. If you want to print some text while preserving the format of the text, you can use triple quotes inside print. If you want to add a tab, you can do it by using \t. How do you create comments? By using hash as well as three quotes, three single quotes. Okay, so after hash or inside three single quotes, If you write the text, it will be treated as comment, not code. Okay. Now, variables. What are variables? Variable is a name that refers to a value stored in memory. Variables are used to store data that can be referenced and manipulated throughout a program. Uh, yeah, key features of variable in Python. So variables can be of dynamic type. So you can using variable, you can store some integer value, you can store some string value, some decimal value, right? When you create a variable, it should not be starting with a number. Apart from underscore, you cannot use any other special character, right? And they are case sensitive. So these are some of the things about variables. If you recreate a variable, the value will be overwritten. Okay, you can create multiple variables at the same time. Yeah. So any questions, anyone?
So actually, I didn't get the comments wala thing.
Sorry.
The comments wala part.
Acha, okay.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If you have to add some information in the code, if you want to keep some text, you can use hash, and after hash, if you write some text, it will not throw an error. So for example, here, if I only add some text, like, yeah, same thing. Right. So let's say I'm writing some code and I want to add some basically logical information of the code. If I just do it like this, it will throw me an error that it has invalid syntax. If you want to add some information, you have to have one hash before this text, and now if you run, it will not throw an error. So in this way, you can add comments and store the logic and additional information about the code. You can also same thing. You can also create comments by using this way as well, by using triple quotes. So inside triple quotes, if you add text, it will not throw any sort of error. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, sir. Thanks.
All right. Moving ahead. Yeah, the next thing is operators. So what are operators? Operators are special symbols that perform operations on variables and values. So we discussed about variables, how to create them, how to store different sort of values. Now we can make use of operators in order to do some operations, right? So yeah, for addition, we use plus. For subtraction, we use minus. If we want to multiply something, we can do it by a single asterisk sign. Then yeah, this forward slash for division, modulus for the remainder, double asterisk for finding the power, and double backslash for the floor division. So I think, yeah. So if I have to add two values, I'll use plus. If I have to subtract something, use minus. If you want to multiply something, use asterisk. This is true division. So this will give you the exact value, exact divided value. And if you do this instead of one single slash, if you use double slash, this will give you the floor division value. Only one will discard value after the decimal. Okay. Now, if you want to find some remainder, like if you want to divide two values and find the remainder of that, you can do it by using the modulus symbol. So 5 mod 3, it will give you 2 as a remainder from that. If you want to add a power, you can do that by using double asterisk instead. So if you do that, you get 125. With single, it was simple division. Okay. Now, these are basically the types of arithmetic operators, right? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Now we do have another type of operators in Python, which are comparison operators. Why do we use them? Basically, we can build. different comparison logics using these variables. So if I, yeah, here I have two values, x equals to 12, y equals to 10. If I have to check whether these two variables are same or not, if the values of these variables are equal or not, I can basically use this double equals to comparison operator, equals to, right? And it will give me a Boolean value. What are Boolean values? Boolean values are basically true and false, 0 and 1. Okay. So now I can use different signs like x greater than y. It will tell me whether it's true or not. X smaller than y, x greater than equals to, x smaller than equals to, x not equals to. For not, we use exclamation in Python. Okay, so x not equals to y. So 5 is not, yeah, which is true. 10 and 12, they are not equal. So that is why it has given me true. So these comparison operators, they basically give the output in the form of booleans, true and false. Okay, now similarly we have another type of operator which are logical operator, and they also return booleans in output. So x and y, so these are basically like the logic gates that we studied in schools, right? So x and y, so it will be true if both x and y is 1, right? So yeah, similarly end, so it will return true if at least one of them is true. If one of them is 1, so 1 or 0, it gives you the output 1, right? So same thing, we can run them. Yeah, so let's say I say x equals to false, y equals to true. So basically x is 0 and y is 1. So if I will do 0 and 1, it will be 0. That is why it is false. So x equals to 5, x equals to minus 5. Okay, so this is something else. Okay, so basically you can um, use these logical operators basically to add the logic, binary logics 0 and 1. Okay, now yeah, let's say if you create a variable which is x equals to 5. Okay, these is again a different type of uh, operators comparison. Okay, yeah. So let's say you create this variable called x equals to 5. Now one way is to like you can again reinitialize the value of x and it will override the previous value. But if you do x, let's say minus equals to 5. Okay, now if you check the value of x, it was 0. So what happened when you added a symbol before equals to, it basically recreated and updated the value, updated the last value by using by applying this subtraction. So basically, if I run this again, what is happening? Okay, so if I basically rerun this and if I check the value of x now, it is minus 5. So every time this minus equals to will run, the value of x will be updated. Okay, so yeah, and you can do this with all the other operators. So if let's say here x equals to 5, I can do it by using plus equals to. So again, the value of x will become 8. Then yeah, let me run this. So for plus, for minus, subtraction, multiplication, division, row division, true division, modulus, right? For all of these operators, it will work. Like it will update the value as well by performing this operation. Okay, so here again, same x equals to 100. If I'll print x is 100, now if I'll do x plus equals to 3, so it will update the value of x by adding 3 in it. Now it will be 103, and this can be every time it will run, it will update the value. Okay, this is okay. So these were basically the assignment operators that we just discussed. Plus equals to, minus equals to. What it is doing, that it is assigning the value to a variable by re-updating it. Now, the next type of operators we have are again the bit operators, bit wise operations, for doing bitwise operations like and, or, XOR, not, left shift, right shift, right? So they work exactly the same way we studied in schools, right? The logic gates. So yeah, let's see them one by one. Okay, I think I am not added the cell, but it's okay. Like it works exactly the way it sounds. So now, what you can also do, you can make use of this operator called in and not in, and they fall in the category of membership operators, right? So how they basically works? Let's say you have variable called x, which is a list inside which we have multiple values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and another variable called y, which is 12. And now I can check whether 12 is present in x or not by using in and not in. So if I just say y not in x, it is saying true that it is not present. If I just say in, it will say false that it is not present in that. Okay. Similarly, same thing you can do for text as well, like fruit basket. And here I have four values in string format: apples, bananas, oranges, grapes, and I can use in and not in and get the Boolean output whether it is present in the basket. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, if you are getting, yeah, if you're feeling like what are this list strings for now, no worries. Like I will be discussing all the things about each of these things in detail. That basically all the data types in Python and yeah, all sort of things. What are lists? What are tuples, dictionaries, all of that. So, but yeah, these are some of the basics that I just told in today's session. Basically, how do we print something in Python? How do we create variables? What are the various things we should be uh, keeping in mind while creating variables? Right. And then what are operators? How do we use them? What are different types of operators? So yeah, I'll not be stretching the session today. So yeah, I will start discussing about the data types in the next session, and we will be seeing what are the different types of data types in Python and exploring them in detail. Okay, so any question, anyone till now, till all the things that I uh, showed it to you in basics Python?
So I had one doubt.
Please go ahead.
Uh, the doubt was that so that x and y you typed over there in operators, I think x is equal to false and y is equal to false. So x is equal to y. So the outcome was false. Like how did that?
This one?
No, 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 no.
Where? Which one?
Above, sir. Yeah, yeah.
This one?
Yeah, yeah. This one, this one.
Ah, yeah. So basically, let's say this x, in this case, this x is 0. Okay, and this is basically false. and y is 1 because y is true, right? So yeah, now if you think about the logic gate, right? If I am using a AND gate, okay, and for AND, if it's 0 and 1, then both the values should be 1. Then it will give me 1, which is true, right? If one of them is 1 and one of them is 0, if I'll be saying doing 0 and 1, then it will be 0. If I'll be doing 0 and 0 or false and false, then it will be 0, which is again false. So using this logic, when x is 0 and y is 1, if I'll be using an AND gate, it will give me 0. Uh, right? So
Yeah.
if I change it to true and basically convert it to 1, and now if I rerun this, since both are 1 and there's an AND gate, it will be 1. That is why it is true.
Yeah, sir.
Got it?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, even? No? All right. Okay. I'll post the recording in the same drive link. Right. So I have added in WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, if you go in the group description, there you can find the link, and therein only I will update today's session video and also share the notebook link with you guys. So you can go ahead and execute the cells, go through all the documentation, all the theories that is there. If you want, if you please feel free to move ahead and read about the topics there that are there in the notebook. It will really help you when I'll be taking the next session. So yeah, and if you guys have any doubt, you can ask in the next session about all the things that we have discussed. Okay, yeah, thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next session.
So
Yep.
it's my first session, so I just wanted to ask that I watched your first session that you have posted on the drive. So, like,
Mhm.
is this the second lecture or
Yeah,
there's
I
been
mean
time to lectures?
that was an introductory session.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing was discussed about Python or anything.
yeah.
So ideally, like this is the first session.
Okay, okay, yeah, sir.
Okay, all you have to do is just I'll share this GitHub like Kaggle link with you. You
Yeah,
can just log in using your Gmail credentials
yeah.
and yeah, go through the video and execute the notebook and yeah, play with it and make changes and see what happens.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? No. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you in the next session. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.